Okay, so I haven't done one of these in a while, but I can get really close now. I'm having this camera sitting right on one of my hives, and I'm gonna be sitting right here, so you're gonna see what this looks like really up close. I'm about halfway done inspecting this hive, so you're gonna see kind of what it looks like from really, really close up to do this. So I've done all of these, and I have another frame sitting down here to make room, and there's a box over here that I've taken off. So I've got to do these frames here. The wooden ones just came with the bees. There's nothing special about them, except that because they're in the middle, and you can kind of tell, that's kind of where most of the bees are, which means the queen is there, most of the babies are there, all that stuff. So we're gonna finish this inspection here. So we're putting a little smoke along the top, drives the bees back inside, makes it so their pheromones don't work in case they get mad. And now I'm gonna use my tool and separate them because they glue everything together with wax and propolis, so everything is glued together all the time. And I'm learning this the hard way, but the more rough I am right now separating these frames, the more mad the bees get. And so if I do this very gently, it's almost like they don't even know I'm there. So that was pretty good. So whenever the bees basically pop up their little heads and say, hey, what's going on? I give them a little bit more smoke, and I'm trying not to shove it down in there because it doesn't help. Just kind of along the top. And ideally I could sit, but these hives that have these frames that have so much stuff on them, I'm gonna stand over it because they're heavier than they look. They're full of bees. They can be full of all kinds of stuff, which can make it pretty tough. We got an angry one. I don't want to wear my gloves. I'm really clumsy when I wear my gloves. Let's see, let me get my hand down here again. Okay. We're okay. And we pull straight up, easy. Look around, see I don't accidentally squash a bee. This feels like it weighs, a few pounds, but that's a lot to grab in your fingertips when you've also got thousands of things that could sting you. So, first thing I want to point out is this beehive. If you see this bee right here, he's got some kind of a disease. There's several of them like that where their eyes are underdeveloped and they almost look kind of albino compared to the rest. I don't know what that is. You can see him right here. So I'm gonna have to look that up. It could be nothing, it could just be, or it could be bad, but there's a few of them that I've seen. And so what I'm looking for right now is the queen. Oh look, there's a bee with pollen right here. I think that's really cool. So all the little capped parts here, that's babies. You can see the yellow pollen in here, and then right around the corners, they're capping honey, and that's kind of textbook how they're supposed to do it. So let me take a quick second here and see if I can find the queen. Oh, they're making a queen here, or they used to. Hard to tell. Okay, now we're gonna flip it. I'll sit. Make sure I don't sit on a bee. Oh, bad. So on here, I'm gonna do this quicker, but you can see all the babies and the pollen at the top. There's another pollen carrying one. And I don't see the queen. That's not terribly surprising because she can be hard to spot sometimes. Okay, that's done. On to the next. So same way, it goes back in. Just try to very gently lay it down. Slide that there. A little more smoky smoke. And these ones that all have all the bees on them, those are the hardest to do because obviously they're heavy and they've got all the bees. The chance of me making mistakes a lot higher. Last time when I was working on one of the other hives, it's a mess of my own making, and I'm trying to fix it, but every time I'm in there, it's very, very destructive, and the bees get real upset. But, all right, ladies, go on down. I'm not winning any awards for what I've done to the other hive. This one, ooh. Okay, we're gonna have a problem. I just broke honey, which makes bees kind of go nuts. Not much choice I had about it, and I'm doing it again there. So you're gonna see honey here flowing out, which is not good, but they built against their other frames, and I ripped it because I have to get it out. So when this happens, the bees go into a robbing frenzy to get all the honey, which makes them kind of nuts. They go a little bit aggressive. They can attack each other across hives, all because they smell honey. So I'm gonna do this kind of quick. Up we go. All right. Get a better grip. Do this kind of quick. Queenie queen. Hold this more vertical since I know I have honey running. I don't see her, but I think she's on here. Yep, there she is. No, that's a drone. Crap. Okay. Okay, flip it up. So you can see the honey up here that I broke. There she is. Found her. She's right here. There she is. That's the queen. Okay. Now, she's good. We're gonna put this in very carefully. Extra super careful, because accidentally killing and dropping a queen, it's no bueno. All right, down it goes, safe and gentle. Okay. Now, the rest of these I can tell don't have anything on them, so I'm not going to sweat it. We'll do the very, very last one just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. They build from the middle out, so even though you might work from the outside in because it's easier, your mid-center frames are where you're really paying attention to how the bees are doing and how far out they're pushing. So you can see here, they've barely done anything on this one. And in general, that means they've also done nothing on the ones further out. Not always, but in general. In this case, I'm going to do something a little, actually I'm going to do something a little weird. So these black plastic frames are from another hive that I had. The one that was killed by hornets, yellow jackets. But the good thing is, it's got all the wax already done. Just less work for the bees. All I have to do is clean. But since they build from the middle out, these ones with all the extra wax, they're not even paying attention to those yet. So I'll show you what I mean. See? Already done. Except for on this side, that's kind of a messed up. So I'm gonna set that right here. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'll just do this kind of a low-tech way. I'm gonna push this back, to here. And then put this one down in the middle. So now when they're building out, they'll say, oh, this is like already done. And they'll use it sooner, which means they'll grow faster, in theory, than if they're trying to make all that wax on that other frame. Okay. Now it's time to reassemble. What we're gonna do here is this one we want to be careful with. This is where the queen was. It's also where I smashed the honey. So we're gonna I'm gonna put a little tension here so it doesn't slip. And then I'm gonna slide over. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Little tension so it doesn't slip. And slide over. Okay. I'll do the same thing here. Now, unfortunately, this one frame with the queen and the honey, it's fatter than it's supposed to be, which means the spacing is a bit off. And so hopefully I've got enough, ooh, that slipped, enough space over here at the end to get everything where I need it. Slide. Now this one should be pretty quick to do. Okay, now I've got this guy down here. In it goes. Tight, but it fits. Good. Now we reassemble. Queen excluder keeps the queen from coming up to where the honey will be. It's a good thing they're still down there because then they come up and I crush them and it's not fun. Then the box. On good. Okay. Now, uh-oh. Smoker's going out. But I'm actually going to pull this feeder off today. It's not really useful much anymore. And I'll put some more frames in here to fill it up. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll checkerboard this one. We'll see. Okay. That's better. Okay, so let's pull this sucker. So I'm gonna pull this frame first. See, they haven't come up here at all to do anything. So his idea is when they get big enough and start making a lot of honey, they'll come up here. Okay, and this is the feeder that I use for them. You fill this up with a sugar solution. That's done. Put this back in. And I think I've got one of my hives being checkerboarded, or I'm going to try it. I think this one I'll just leave full. This hive is the weakest one I've got by far. Most of the other ones have filled out the bottom and they're beginning to work on the top. This one's only halfway done with the downstairs, so it needs to get with the program, or I'll have to combine it with another hive later this year. So I think I'll do the checkerboarding. So what we do, that's 2, 3, 4. We'll leave this one. We'll leave this one, that's fine. They worked on that one. 1, 2, we'll pull. Okay, they have glued these together already. All right. So checkerboarding is basically when these frames are built with these spacers here on the sides to make them the right space so bees can build and still move. It's called the bee space. But checkerboarding is a technique that a guy kind of figured out where you basically double the amount of space, it still works, but the bees fill it in faster or better or something like that. So the idea is you alternate like this. That one's good. Pull this one. Yep. And then pull, that's 5. Yep. And so we space them out roughly one apart. Roughly one apart, like this. And then they fill this out, then we put another one on, but they're alternating. And this creates a checkerboard pattern that they fill up apparently much nicer than all of them together. But we'll see. It'll be a fun experiment. That hive's done. Now, put the cover on. Just do this. Okay. And that's a hive. Thanks for watching.